All right, this is going to be quick because I just want to talk about the Met Gala. I want to talk about the Met Gala because I've been having just a hard week. I'm dealing with a lot. I'm managing my stress. I'm letting the changes of life sway me like I'm a willing piece of kelp on the seafloor that is powerless to the currents. But I tend to my own well being, you know, as the universal energies are shifting and changing. And So, amidst that personal experience, it's the time of year, it's May, where, I open my phone, whether or not you have Instagram or this or that, it's kind of hard to avoid, like, guess who wore this and whatever this is. Like, I have always found it problematic how easy it is to get to the news portion on the iPhone. Like, if you swipe, maybe that can be disabled or reconfigured, but I always find myself accidentally swiping my phone to the left and then seeing all these news articles, quote unquote news. Not often is it actually news articles. A lot of the times it's like Kylie Jenner posted a picture of her son and you have to see it. That was literally almost verbatim one of the top news articles in my news thing yesterday when I swiped left, and I was like, I don't want to see it. But then, I clicked on it. So I don't like that, right? Because I think that the masses of people in this world are a little bit more sheeple oriented, and they don't actively, think about how ridiculous it is and that our world is run by these, celebrities and idol worship. And so posted something on my Instagram this evening, and I asked for somebody to come at me with healthy debate because I appreciate healthy debate. And what I was saying was I am sick of celebrating the Met Gala, been having this week, scrolling through my phone, and I'm like, just get these silly outfits out of my face, the cat suit, like, it has gone too far. And I have come to find out that the theme is Karl Lagerfeld, who passed away, rest in peace. And that was his cat, so that's what Jared Leto wanted to wear. Fine. But in general, such a display of wealth that is so out of touch. I think it's just time to stop caring about it. Like, I think about the network that's all connected. And the thing that I wrote on Instagram was also about like paid promotions. Like, a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, they don't do anything on the internet without having a paid promotion. And, a lot of them get criticism, like the Kardashians again, for using certain teeth products, but then they all have veneers, or doing certain slim shakes, but then they all have, liposuction. It's very controversial. And a lot of people realize that, but a lot of people don't, especially the young and impressionable. And we no longer have the ability to shield the young and impressionable, or the, less educated and impressionable from those types of influences. People always want to aspire to something. People almost like, right, psychologically, to be envious in a certain way. There's something that is very akin to gossip. The frequency of having something that we can strive for that like gives you something to kind of love, hate. That's a human like psychological trap that's always been a thing. But I'm just finding it like I just broke this year. Like, usually I kind of enjoy it and I scroll through a list of who wore the best outfits, but I think it's a combination of how I feel about my own journey and my own life right now. And then also the fact that my friend who chimed in with a healthy debate was saying there's nothing wrong with celebrating arts and culture, and I enjoy it, and there's a lot of creativity in fashion, blah, 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 etc. And I said, yes, I hear you. I myself am very invested in celebrating fashion and art, but it's ostentatious, completely like depraved. There's no thinking about, if you seriously look at the amount of money just dripping off of every single person, not the whole event, the amount of money on one individual who attends that event could change the lives of so many people who are suffering. And it's just unbelievable, okay? And then also to the point of celebrating arts and culture, that would be great if there was not so much open and acknowledged like corruption in the entertainment industry. And I don't even think we, have been celebrating the people who deserve recognition forever, like we haven't diversified who we celebrate. And the whole thing seems, a little bit jaded a lot of the times, or like rigged, award shows. People always, like The Weeknd said that he got gypped or something. Maybe that's just his own ego and indignation. But for the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, for the first time, an Asian woman won an Oscar for Best Female Lead. It's 2023 and it happened for the first time. And we're talking about celebrating arts and culture. There's something wrong with that. And I think that it's okay to appreciate it and click on it and like it, if you know that at the same time it's problematic. Like, I think for most people it's hard to see it and not think it's problematic, and you can still enjoy it. But my devil's advocate friend also said you need to put blame in the hands of the consumer. People need to be smarter and not so, reliant on someone to look up to. People need to be more diligent about knowing that they need to unplug from their phones and take care of themselves, so they don't take these false realities that are spun through our digital portals into a realm that is, manufactured in so many ways, especially with AI at this point. Like, everybody's seen deep fakes and stuff, and Bruce Willis sold his likeness to be able to be used in movies without his presence. They can totally just put him into a movie as if he acted it. And I promise you, you won't be able to tell the difference. People will be like, that's not going to work. No, it's been working. I guarantee you. I saw, a video yesterday of will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas in the studio, talking about how he didn't need to be in the studio to record something, or he didn't need to do something in the track I'm a Bee. That was like 13 years ago, because he was using artificial intelligence. 13 years ago. Like, we are drip fed. You can't forget that. That's not really a conspiracy. It's the way things go. It's the way things go, So, yeah, I do believe that the consumer of anything has a responsibility to educate themselves, but at the same time, I believe that a lot of effort is put into pretending that we're educating the consumer, or being like, hey, consumer, here's the education around this. And all it does is create a bigger reliancy on this, I say this all the time, but hand that both giveth and taketh away. And it's like blaming a child for something the parent is doing, because people are always going to look up to people who have money and power and lifestyles that they aspire to. That's why capitalism works. It's because they can keep people hungry for things that are not really going to be accessible in this way of climbing a ladder. But the whole idea is to keep it, celebrities have to come off as very relatable to keep convincing people that it is possible. And I'm not saying that people don't accomplish their dreams. I'm actually quite an optimist when it comes to that. But back to like creating this system of dependency and those paid promotions, a lot of those things aren't good for people. A lot of those things have little weird loopholes when it comes to FDA approval. And a lot of those things haven't been tested. A lot of those things have to do with the body. It's not just, I don't know. Well, there's all sorts of things. Everything under the sun is like a paid promotion now. Everybody has a course and a product and a this and a that. And that's fine. On the one hand, I will always be in support of somebody accessing their passion and their gifts and sharing it with the world. It's not a bad thing to sell things or to profit. But I believe that a lot of these things, especially when the person who is promoting it doesn't actually use it and they're just getting money to be a poster child, I think a lot of these things cause issues for people, or they act as if They are the solution to issues that other products like them like already caused, okay? And I'm kind of taking a loose approach to the way these things connect. So I'm not saying you get one product off of Instagram and it causes you a health issue and then another ad is going to be the solution to that health issue. No, more of like a holistic, this whole thing is a machine type of thing where like we eat a lot of nutritionally deficit, genetically modified food. We do. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's a fact. And when we do that and our bodies, store some of these like preservatives or things over time, blah, 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 leads to an increase in heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, all forms of cancer, right? There's an extreme increase in the rate of certain diseases in America over other countries, which also pairs with our rampant mental health issues that are seeing record highs, okay? And so then you see ads like, do you have indigestion? Try this all-in-one meal shake. It'll wipe out all of your clogged up poo that's been inside your GI tract, whatever. And it's like, what? Like, no, the solution is not turning your diet into a meal shake. The solution is returning a little bit to organic, natural foods that are harder to access for people. And that's why it's an entrapping system that's socioeconomically biased. And I'm just like almost incredulous. Like I had to record a video about it because all of the other years when I've seen the Met Gala outfits, I'm like, cute, that is pretty. I wonder if in a million years I can be on the Met Gala cart. You know what I mean? Like celebrity, like, oh, an event, a thing to scroll through. But this year, and I've already said this, but in part because I don't have the time or patience for BS this week from anybody else or from myself. I'm dealing with a lot. Am I okay? Yes. Is it going to be okay? Like always, but I don't know, something in me broke and I was like, this is sick. It's not okay. And I don't want to indulge it anymore. I want to make sure that when we need an escape from reality, people are seeking out healthy things that don't pull their own energy out of them and away from them. Energy givers, getting sunlight, eating nutritionally balanced and fortifying food, moving your body, exercising, spending time with animals, right? Creatures that have vibrations that are naturally high because they're not tainted by the ills of society and the crazy ideals, of this world. Engaging your creative side, doing a little bit of writing, a little bit of painting, a little bit of sculpting. You can go outside and and make a little, I don't know, draw in the dirt, right? Whatever. Just strip off all of the judgment about how one could spend their time as an adult and let yourself explore. I'm a big proponent of open-ended hobbies. I saw a funny video. It's gone viral, so I'm sure people have also seen it, but it was an adult woman being like, too many passions, want to do this, want to do that. It was basically like an ADHD video, but she's like, I want to make a ceramic pot, but first I'm going to sew these buttons on his belt. And then I'm like, yeah, it's actually not a bad problem to have. Tempering the desire to engage our passions is something to be worked with. And by that, I mean worked on, like acknowledged. Because in my own experience, if you don't pay attention to it, then it just paralyzes you and you don't really end up doing anything. And then you're not getting the benefit of letting that energy flow, right? Creative energy, sexual energy is creative energy. So I'm thinking sacral chakra, and it's all connected, right? So third eye vision, seeing things for imagining your life into existence outside of what you see other people doing. So here's another point. I believe that it's very important to have role models and people whom you admire intellectually, creatively, spiritually, even physically. That's okay, to have role models. as long as you see yourself doing something that's your own as a result of that. I don't think I agree with wanting to replicate, somebody's stuff, because no one is on this earth to copy anybody else. Every single person is as unique as our thumbprints. And all the, the Grinch, the snowflake. There's a world inside of each and every one of us that we navigate each and every day. And we forget how absolutely, far away from each other we are. We have this language, and we have these cues in the form of body language and intonation and whatnot. But really, at the end of the day, you can be very far apart in terms of understanding. And I think, and I have said this in another recent video, I think that's never been more true. I think that things are changing so quickly that we almost don't have time to commune in the way that we do through, I'm not talking like, how you doing? You doing good? Me too. Kind of, No, I mean like the deep heart to hearts that are hard to come by unless you make time to sit down with the people you care about and like really hash things out. That's why I posted my rant on my Instagram story, and that's why I said, please debate me if you don't agree. That's what the world needs. We need stimulating conversations about what's happening so that we don't just follow along on the merry-go-round forever. It's not the merry-go-round I want to be on. I want to get off and go over and play in the dirt like I said before. I would like to do that. I'm going to end this video and then I'm going to do a card reading. I'm being guided to do that. So those are my thoughts on the wasteful celebrity idol worship that I think needs to get out of our lives. I think that, like I said in the beginning, it's super easy to be like, I don't care, but then we just click on it anyway. I'm going to try to not do that, and I challenge other people to as well, because every click counts, every eye movement counts, every screenshot, all of that is tracked. And if you think it's not, I'm here to tell you that it is, right? The phone, if you go into the health app, the watch, whatever, it knows more about you than you will ever be able to know about yourself. Not on an inward spiritual level, but I'm just saying the metrics, the data, it's all there. So the less fuel we can feed the machine, fueling of the fire, right? What does that mean in an argument? You're stoking a fire, you're making it rage, bonfire, bigger. When you take that out, then it will be less raging, less powerful, less all-consuming. Fires spread, they burn down and consume the things around them. And I do not want that to happen to our uniqueness and our brilliance and our intelligence and our ability to celebrate ourselves without, being, outside of a bubble of celebrity influence. And I know that a lot of people all over the world have never subscribed to it and thought it was dumb the whole time. I'm just saying, as somebody who for the past few years has been okay, even 1 year, I think it was 2016, 17, I took a bunch of outfits from it and I photoshopped my dog's head. This is kind of a weird thing to do, but I have said this multiple times. I have weird ideas and I execute them. I called it Met Gala because he is a mutt and his name is Muttley. And it was just him wearing these outfits in different poses. I've always just kind of looked forward to it from a neutral lens, but I am thinking about it this year from a very different lens, and I think that's aligned with what it's changing for me in my life. I'm gonna ring my chime, so if you have headphones on, and if you've just been listening to this without looking, then just be aware that there's gonna be a loud sound. And I also just want to say that if anybody sees this sprinkled of powder on my table, if that's visible, it's glitter. It's not Y-A-Y. Oh. All right, here's the chime. I'm gonna clear, and then I'm gonna go right into the reading after I pause the video and start a new one. Please stay tuned for the future videos that I'm going to be posting that are really focused around meditation, meditative exercises, things you can listen to while you're driving. So they're not put you to sleep meditations. Some of them will be more I don't know, repeat after me affirmation type ones, because it really does change how your brain is thinking and communicating with the left and right hemispheres of it when you're engaging your own repetition. When you speak aloud something to affirm it, that's important. So stay tuned for those. It's not the right time for me quite yet to be recording them, but I promise that they're coming. Another chime. All right. Thanks for listening.